Most Wanted Brian Laundrie. Brian Laundrie's parents have agreed to help authorities in the search for their son as sleuths are speculating he may be hiding in their garden. Meanwhile, sleuths across the internet suspect Brian is in his parents' garden because drone footage of their backyard apparently shows a hand under a flower bed. Footage appears to show a woman, who sleuths claim to be Laundrie's mom, working on one of her flower beds, as a man, who online detectives think is Brian's dad, seems to be looking on. Online sleuths also bizarrely claimed they noticed a white-colored square pit in the garden, prompting allegations that Brian may be hiding in an underground bunker. Laundrie family attorney Steve Bertolino released a new statement shortly after Brian's dad Chris returned home from the Carlton Reserve on Thursday afternoon. Today Chris Laundrie accompanied members of law enforcement into the reserve to show them the trails and places Chris and Brian have hiked and which Brian was known to frequent, Bertolino said, according to News Nation Now correspondent Brian Enton. FBI Denver has said they believe Gabby was killed between August 27 and August 30. She was last seen on August 27 when Brian reportedly had an argument with a waitress. The warrant allows the FBI to continue searching for Brian while they work to establish what happened to Gabby. As of yet, Brian is just a person of interest in the disappearance and death of Gabby. The FBI did not specify whether the unauthorized card Brian used belonged to Gabby. Gabby's dad told Dr. Phil he considers Brian and anyone in the Laundrie family's Florida home a coward because he hasn't cooperated with the police. Brian's dad Chris was only at the Carlton Reserve for about 2 hours on Thursday, according to News Nation Now correspondent Brian Enton. By 2:30 p.m. EST, Enton reported that Chris had left and returned to his home in Northport, Florida. Former Miami-Dade homicide detective Pat Diaz speculated that Chris Laundrie was perhaps asked to help identify Brian's belongings found at the campsite. Diaz said he doesn't believe investigators would have asked a suspect's family to help with a search. They may have found stuff in the reserve for the father to identify, he told Fox News. Although Chris and Roberta Laundrie provided this information verbally 3 weeks ago, it is now thought that on-site assistance may be better, he added. Brian's dad Chris was asked to identify his son's favorite trails and hiking spots as he joined the hunt for Gabby Petito's fugitive fiancé, the family's lawyer said Thursday. Chris was seen leaving his Northport, Florida, home alone on Thursday morning, News Nation Now correspondent Brian Enton tweeted. Enton said Bertolino told him, Chris Laundrie is assisting law enforcement today in the search for Brian. Gabby claimed in the Moab video that Laundrie had told her to shut up. In another part of the video, Laundrie alleged that Gabby hit him first and tells the officers, "I'm fine." Asked by Officer Robbins if Gabby takes any medications, Brian replied, "She just gets crazy." During the Moab incident, Gabby was heard telling responding officers that Laundrie grabbed her mouth to keep her quiet. "It's okay if you're saying you hit him, and I understand if he hit you, but we want to know the truth, if he actually hit you," Officer Eric Pratt asked. Gabby alleged that Laundrie had grabbed her face, left a burning gash on her cheek, and red marks on her arm as cops noticed some bruises. It's not clear which vacationer's dog was referring to and if it was the argument on August 12 in Moab, Utah, where onlookers called the cops to respond after Laundrie reportedly hit his fiancée. Gabby Petito was heard yelling by nearby vacationers and her fiancé Brian Laundrie grabbed her mouth to keep her quiet, Dog the Bounty Hunter now claims. Dog said in an exclusive interview with The Sun that he knew Gabby was very verbal and alleged her fiancé would try to physically keep her quiet. "I know that she was very verbal because as they were arguing one time, the vacationers around them heard her yelling," he said. Realtors Alicia Colligan and Tony Gustitis told DMZ that the media circus near the Laundrie home is not deterring people from moving in nearby. Online sleuths bizarrely claimed they noticed a white-colored square pit in the garden, fueling allegations that Laundrie may be hiding in an underground bunker. Footage appears to show a woman, who sleuths claim to be Laundrie's mom, gardening and working on one of her flower beds. A man, who online detectives say is the fugitive's dad, appears to be standing by watching. The graphic designer said she spotted the couple's white van on August 26 and 27. Schultz said that she saw a young white male in a white van on August 26. Dog the Bounty Hunter labeled Brian's sister Cassie a liar over the weekend after she said she had not seen her brother since he returned from his trip without Gabby. Laundrie family attorney Stephen Bertolino later confirmed, Cassie saw her brother Brian on September 1 when he stopped by her home and again on September 6 at Fort DeSoto Park. The bounty hunter added $10,000 to the reward being offered in the search for Brian Laundrie. He announced that he and his family would donate the money in hopes of receiving information that leads to Brian's eventual capture. A rep for the bounty hunter told TMZ of the money being added to the reward amount. Seth Ferranti, a former fugitive who was on the run for 2 years, advised Brian to surrender to authorities, in an interview with Fox News. He went on to say that Brian could not use credit cards while on the run, and that getting a fake ID is crucial. Cassie begged her fugitive brother to get us out of this horrible mess in an interview broadcast last Tuesday. Cassie Laundrie told protesters and reporters outside her home last Monday that nothing came up when she saw her brother at Fort DeSoto Park on September 6. That was 5 days after Brian returned home to Florida from a cross-country trip without Gabby. Nothing came up, Cassie responded when asked if Brian mentioned his fiancée. A Northport police spokesman has said there's a lot of oddness in the story of Brian Laundrie's parents.